Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I want to make an update video on Overwatch. A lot has happened since the last time I've done a YouTube video on this game, and Blizzard is putting the final touches before they launch it. Now, the game has been in closed beta for quite some time, and unfortunately it's been a fairly restrictive closed beta. The game has so much strategy, technical detail, and awesome aspects to it, but it's not always that easy to convey it through video alone. I like to think that a lot of people watch my videos because they also can play the video games and relate to what I'm saying or relate what I'm doing to their own experiences. And if you can't play a game like Overwatch, then all you have to go by is somebody else's video on it. So finally, on the 5th, you will be able to get into the Overwatch open beta from May 5th to the 9th. Everybody can get in. Also, if you pre-ordered the game, I think you'll get early access to the open beta on the 3rd. So that this is basically going to be the last, final, and biggest stress test of the game, and it'll be a chance for anyone who's curious about the game to finally get into it for the first time if you haven't been able to. And I strongly encourage you to do so. And if I'm being perfectly honest, visually speaking, Overwatch is not my cup of tea. I think it's a little bit too cartoony. I've always been a bigger fan of tactical shooters, but once I started playing Overwatch, the game is just so much fun. It's so well built and balanced and just engaging that the visual aspect of it actually ended up becoming a bit more appealing than I initially thought it would be. Now, I first played Overwatch back in February of 2015, and the game was solid back then. It played smoothly, the frame rate was great, graphics were amazing, it was really fun. The game was at a state where I feel like pretty much any other developer would have just launched it at that point or put it into like a buy-in early access mode or something like that, but not Blizzard. They kept working on it for over a year beyond that point. And let's be real, no other developer would do that, nor can most of them really afford to do that kind of overproduction on a game and that kind of balancing and polishing and tweaking. At this point, the game is incredibly well polished. I mean, it's gone through many balance changes, and they've really established the system of ranks and the game modes and how it's going to work up. They've added in ranked play to the game now, so there's going to be 4 different tiers of ranks and 5 divisions within each tier. So I guess you could multiply that and say there's 20 different stages of rank that you can progress through, and it's going to reset each month. Very similar to Hearthstone, and based on what rank or tier you get to each month, you will get rewarded that month with some cool cosmetic upgrades that might be exclusive to that month or that season specifically. So there's going to be a lot of really cool cosmetic upgrades and stuff tied into the game and playing the game and progressing through the game, which is something that I really like. And it seems like it's borrowing a lot of the system that Hearthstone uses, which really keeps me engaged in Hearthstone. I'm still playing Hearthstone pretty much every day, and I just love their season system. Also, what I like about the cosmetic upgrades, especially ones that Blizzard does, is that they're all incredibly cool. It's not just a different color variation on a character skin, although they do have that for some of the lower tier cosmetic upgrades. The higher tier stuff is like a complete reskinning of what a certain character looks like. So if you're not crazy about the aesthetic appeal of one of the characters that you like playing, you can potentially change that up entirely down the road. The play modes have pretty much been solidified at this point. At the beginning of the beta, you just basically had play mode. Now you have quick play, which will just put you into a quick match of any type. Then you have AI mode, you have competitive play, which will be tied into the ranking system, and that'll be more of like a best of 3 game modes that you play with one team against another team. Then there's custom games, which you can set up and mess around with the settings and just try out whatever kind of settings you want against other teams, so that'll be good for tournament play and doing scrims and stuff like that. And then there's the weekly brawl, which is like crazy rule sets for stuff where characters can have extra health or incredibly fast recharge on their abilities or super speed or whatever. They just throw weird rule sets into that, which seems like it could be kind of fun, especially if they tie in some sort of reward system to it. And I imagine the whole loot crate system that you get every time when you rank up in the game is also going to be tied into like doing the weekly brawls and other stuff like that, just as it is in Hearthstone. Now, a lot of the characters have been finely tuned and rebalanced. There are some characters that I liked a little bit more at the beginning of the beta, and now I like others a little bit more towards the end of the beta. I'm really still enjoying Soldier 76 a lot. He did get nerfed a little bit in certain areas. You have to kind of burst fire his weapon now for ultimate accuracy, but he's just such a great gateway player if you come from Battlefield or Call of Duty or any standard generic shooter. He's got he can self-heal, he's got an assault rifle. He's just generally all around very good, both for defense and offense. Then I still like Tracer a lot. She was kind of my favorite when I first played the early access alpha of this game. Just her speed and agility is awesome. She is super light and weak. She'll go down very quickly if she's not mobile or moving all the time, but that's just kind of her play style. She's excellent at flanking, and I love playing with her. And then I've really warmed up to Widowmaker. Sniping this game can be hit or miss. It really depends on the team that you're playing with. If the team you're playing with is good at slowing down the other team offensively, if they can put up a good defense, then Widowmaker can be amazing. She's a little bit trickier to use on offense. You have to be really well coordinated with your team, but just her ability to one-shot other players and take them down so fast with that instantaneous bullet to target travel time just makes her incredibly good. And I've seen some just nasty players just tear it up with Widowmaker. And then of course there's Pharah. A lot of people love playing this character. Her damage output is absolutely insane. She's got a rocket launcher, fires it really quickly. It's got very high direct hit and splash damage. It's good for taking out groups of players, good for taking out single players. She is again very weak, but she has that sort of high up in the sky eagle eye advantage, which can make her good in certain maps, but also pretty hard to use in other parts of maps. When things get very small and the ceiling level drops, Pharah becomes significantly less useful. So she's a great character. You just have to know when to switch between them and when your team needs a certain type of character. Then of course there's the tanks. Now generally speaking, I like to be nimble on my feet. I like to be able to deal a lot of damage, so the tanks haven't always appealed to me that much. I do like Zarya a bit. She's kind of straightforward. She can put on her own shield. She can give a shield to a friend. And then if you time that really well with somebody trying to deal damage to you and you absorb that damage, then you deal a lot more damage back to them. So she can be a really cool combo class at times. Her ultimate is interesting. If you combo her ultimate with somebody else who's got great AoE damage, it can absolutely decimate the entire enemy team. Great for on the point style matches where if there's a big group of players defending a point and you use that ultimate there, oh my god, it can catch them off guard and absolutely obliterate them. Obviously Reinhardt is amazing, just not quite my play style. The importance of having a good mixed team with tanks and healers and all that stuff really does show itself in the game, and you'll notice very quickly if your team doesn't have a healer or even a good healer, how much of a difference that can make in the long run. And that is one of the trickier aspects of this game, is that once you start taking it a little bit more seriously, you pretty much have to have a set team to play with, or you just have to get lucky in matchmaking and have a good team that likes to use their communication a lot, because that's very important to this game, like timing pushes, having the right character combinations together, the right builds to defeat the defense or keep the offense at bay. There is so much strategy, so much metagame to this. It's really engaging, and I can't wait to start watching the competitive tournaments. And in that light, I would have loved to do some squad up style videos and get all the squad up guys into Overwatch and play some games together, but we actually, only 2 of us got access to the Overwatch beta. As I said before, the beta invites were very limited and certainly not given out to everybody. So we only had 2 guys on board, so we weren't able to sort of establish our full team. In fact, you need a 6-player team, so we'd have to definitely get an extra person in there. But that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully we can organize that for the open beta and do some Overwatch squad ups, and most definitely once the game launches next month. Anyway, I have been having a lot of fun with the closed beta, but I'm sure I'll be much more into the game when everybody can play it and everybody can get into it, so we can form full-on parties. It'll also help the matchmaking quite a bit because it's all over the place right now. There could be people rank 100, there can be people rank 10. It's very inconsistent, and that's just simply because there's not that many people playing because of how many people actually got invited to the beta. So when it goes open, I can't wait to see this game in full force, ranking up, getting cool cosmetic items, customizing the heck out of your characters, and showing off the extremely rare skins. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up for this overview of Overwatch video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Overwatch. Are you guys looking forward to play it? Are you pissed off that you've been seeing videos of people who got invited to the closed beta and are just talking about how awesome the game is and you can't play it yet? Hopefully you'll get your chance early next month. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.